Hello, hello, and welcome, everybody. It's 1 o'clock on Tuesday, so I'm hopping in. If we have not, I'm going to just wait just a moment until Facebook gets me going live before I kind of dive into the juicy stuff I got for you today. But if we haven't interacted, my name is Kim. I'm a health and mindset coach. I host this group because I want to help you take back your power from food. I'm also the creator of the Aligned Body Mind Method, which is a 4-month coaching VIP experience where I take women and help them get from the dieting drama and grabbing cookies every time they turn around and they don't understand why, and food self-sabotage and the nighttime snacking and all the mental obsession. And we work together for 4 months. Women end up working with me for a lot longer than that because they really like the results that they get. But for 4 months, so that they can feel confident in their bodies and they can stop the mental obsession about food and drop all that dieting drama and feel confident in their ability to show up for themselves and build consistency and follow through and all those skills and habits that we need to build that healthier lifestyle that we want. So, welcome if you are just joining. Please, if you're joining live, say hi in the comments below. And if you're watching the replay, put hashtag replay down below so that I know you're here. So listen, I'm giving you today my top 3 strategies for reducing overwhelm in under a minute so you can stop the stress eating before it stopped. But I'm sorry, stop the stress eating before it starts. Uh, because look, when I talk to women on the phone, one of my questions is I want to know, what are your triggers for the snacking and the binging and the overeating? And because I get on the phone with women all the time and I want to hear their stories. I want to connect with them. I make sure that I know them well before I invite them to work with me because it's a very personalized journey for them. And I want to make sure that I am inviting women into the program that are going to be successful. So, on this phone call, one of my questions is around, what's one of your triggers for eating? And the number one answer is stress and overwhelm. And I get this from the women who are those busy, multitasking moms. But once you know how to squash that stress response in your body at a moment's notice when it hits in the middle of your day, then it's easier to stay calm and relaxed. And you just kind of forget about the open bag of M&Ms that's sitting in your kitchen, or the cookies in the office staff room, or whatever it might be. Okay? So, because when we are talking about women who struggle with food, the struggle isn't about the food. It's not about knowing how many calories are in a piece of chocolate cake, or the glycemic index of an apple compared to carrots compared to a hard-boiled egg. That's not what the struggle with food is about. The struggle with food is about, why are we reaching for food when we know that that's not what's going to get us to our goals. Okay, so that's that's the work I do. And today we're talking about that stress. So I'm just going to check the comments, see if anyone's any questions. If you have questions, or you hear if I'm sharing something that really resonates, just put in a me too, because I know a lot of us can relate to this. And I know I used to get so overwhelmed. I have 2 kids. I was working in I worked as a physical therapist for 20 years. Um, Busy clinic, outpatient orthopedic sports medicine, very busy clinic. 2 kids, home CEO. You know what that means, right? Chauffeur and cook and laundry and housekeeping and arranging appointments. All the things that happen, right? Volunteering at work, at school, right? So I was really overwhelmed and stressed. And when that like middle of the day fatigue stress hit, you bet I was diving into my kids' lunch boxes trying to find like goldfish or graham crackers or anything that I could eat to make it feel better. Because what's happening, and I want you to understand what's happening, okay? Because it'll make sense. And we need to understand why we're doing what we're doing. So, stress. So, I'm going to explain just real quick what's actually happening, and then I'm going to give you these 3 strategies that you can start using today. to start to turn down the volume on that stress response in your body. Okay, so here's what happens. Stress triggers our brain's fight or flight response. Okay, sends it off, and that means our brain thinks that there's danger, that there's some type of threat. And here's the thing, you and I know intellectually there is no danger in having a mile long to do list. It feels like there is. We feel right. You just think about it. My chest starts to tighten. We get stressed and panicking. We're never going to get it done. But our lives are not in danger from a long to do list. Like if we don't make all the phone calls today, we're still going to have food to eat and clothes to wear and a safe place to live. We're not in any imminent danger. But our brain doesn't know that. Our brain has not evolved in the same way that our society has. And in our society, we all have stress, right? Some different than others, obviously, but we all have stress. And so when our brain perceives danger or threatening situations, its immediate response is let's find safety. Either run, right, flight, or fight, okay? Find safety. Well, for those of us who are women that struggle with food, what is the number one way that we know to make ourselves feel better? It's to eat food. Grab a cookie, grab some graham crackers, um, start going to town on a bag of potato chips, drive through Starbucks, right? Whatever it might be, because there's a good reason for it. It works really well. It's fast. It's easily accessible. I mean, there's food everywhere. And we've repeated that pattern for years of using food to make ourselves feel better. So we don't even have to think about it. We just do it. Our brain's really efficient. Okay. So we start feeling a little bit of stress coming up, or something stressful happens in our day, and we automatically are going to be driving through Starbucks to get ourselves some type of treat, or we're going to be reaching into the kids' lunch boxes, right? Or we're going to be walking past the candy dish at the front desk at our office, right? So all it is our body's response, a stress response, and the brain is sending us to look for something to feel better. And we've practiced that habit over and over. Those neurons in our brain are wired together nice and tight. And since the struggle isn't about, again, the food, we need to learn how to better manage our stress response in our body, because we can't manage stress. There is stress in our life. Okay. Like things externally are going to happen. We've got a lot going on. There's things happening in the world. They can be stressful. We get to choose how we respond to it. And that's where the magic comes in. So we get to choose how we respond to the stress in our life. And if you can keep diving into cookies or wine or chips or snacking, nighttime eating, whatever, whatever it is for you, or you can start putting some strategies and tools in place, adding some tools to your toolbox so that you can start to, again, turn down that volume on your stress response. Okay? Is this making sense? Okay. So, having tools, we're going to add 3 tools to your toolbox today. Okay? Because having these, being able to pull them out in the midst of your day is how you can get ahead of that urge, that stress urge to eat, those triggers. Okay? So, here we go. Check in the comments here. Great. Okay. First one, it's called box breathing. Okay, it's called box breathing if you haven't heard of it, because you imagine a box as you breathe. You take an inhalation for 4 counts. So you're breathing up for 4 counts, hold it for 4 counts, exhale for 4 counts, and hold for 4 counts. And this slow type of breathing, it will signal to your brain to start to calm itself down. It starts to switch your nervous system over from that fight or flight to the calm and rest. Okay, so box breathing is one. You can do it anywhere. You can do it in the middle of the grocery store. You can do it while you're driving. You can do it anytime you want. You can do it while you're ignoring your kids fighting in the background. Number 2, mini meditations. So I'm not talking 20 minutes in the morning or, all Zen for 30 minutes in the middle of your day. Okay, I mean, it doesn't hurt. But that's not really realistic, and I want you to have practical tools here, okay? But a 30-second meditation or a minute can is long enough to calm everything down in your system. Takes a little practice. It does, because when we first start meditating, those thoughts are still racing around in our head, and the thoughts will continue to pop up. Meditation is not about stopping our thoughts. Our thoughts are still going to happen. It's how are we engaging or not engaging with those thoughts. Okay. So as we learn to be able to disengage from those thoughts that are racing around, then we start to develop that skill of being able to disengage from the stress response, the craziness going on in our head, the spirals, right? Imagining worst case scenarios. Okay. And then that thought that, oh, I need a cookie to feel better. We start to be able to disengage from that. And that's the work that we do in the aligned body mind method, be able to disengage and recognize those thoughts. But it takes practice. Okay. And there's more steps. It's a personalized, more individualized process. But the first step is just being able to practice it for 30 seconds or a minute at a time. Okay. So that's the second one, a mini meditation. And third is called tapping. If you've not heard of tapping, I like to describe tapping as kind of a combination of acupressure and emotional work and neuroscience, all kind of wrapped together. But it uses tapping on certain points, acupressure points on your face and your upper torso. And what it does is, excuse me, the tapping on your body on these specific points signals your brain to start to calm down. Okay, that part of your brain that sends off that stress response, it starts to signal to your brain to pull that back in, to calm that down. Okay, so you can do that anytime. All three of these, I'm giving you tools that you can use anytime you want to. And if you're feeling stressed or overwhelmed, you just start tapping on those points and thinking about the overwhelm. Okay, and this is something I use with my women inside the Aligned Body Mind Method with not just over stress, around we go after limiting beliefs and cravings. A few weeks ago, one of my clients, her name's Sarah, she had a craving for Ben and Jerry's half-baked ice cream, and her cravings went from an 8 to a 2 on a scale of 0 to 10 within a matter of minutes, all because of tapping. It was amazing, absolutely amazing. So we use it a lot, but for this, for you today, just using it for bringing down your stress response can be really helpful. Okay, so those are the three tools for you: box breathing, mini meditation, and tapping. Okay, getting ahead of the stress response, starting to learn to manage your stress better so that you don't need the cookies as much. You don't need the office donuts. You don't need the drive through Starbucks as much. Okay, because when we start to go after the root causes of why you're reaching to food all the time, then the draw of food just starts to fall away. And if we're not having all of this pull towards the unhealthy food, right? The sugar, the desserts, the sweets, okay? Just the overeating, because you can overeat healthy food too. Overeating past full, that draw to food, as that starts to fall away, our bodies just start to naturally move towards a healthier weight. We start to have increased energy. We just start to feel better. Okay, so try these things. This is what I want you to do. If you're still with me and watching, thank you. Tell me if you've tried any of these before, okay? And if you haven't tried any, pick one. Just pick one, try it over the next couple of days, and then send me a PM, or you can come back, you post in the group if you want to, okay? And tell me, I tried this and this is what happened. This is what I noticed. I would love to know, okay? So I hope you all have a great day. I will be back in the group again, and I will talk to you later. Okay, take care.